All right, we'll go ahead and call the meeting to order.
I add that one? No.
Any additions to the agenda?
Yes. What do you wanna add? I just wanna talk about the possibility of potentially maybe thinking about in the future adding a park, another park in the Hidden Creek West division, and or possibly considering buying a lot or two from Coldwater and adding something on the other end.
I have one addition.
Okay.
Adopt a section of the Dakota Rail Trail.
Great idea.
I'll ask for an approval of the agenda.
I approve.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? That carries. All right, approval of the minutes. Everybody see any changes?
No, I did not.
I'll need a motion to approve the minutes.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes.
I'll second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
You have your March budget in your packet. Not a lot has been spent out of the budget. Transfer out was the capital outlay line item money that was left from 2016.
Anybody have any questions on the budget? All right, we'll move on to the capital improvement plan. Anybody have any questions on the capital improvement plan?
No.
All right, we'll move on to, Jancy chart.
Oh, wait, hold on.
The trees, those were ordered. And he contacted me today about, giving Kyle, I don't know if he contacted you, but he wanted your contact information.
I saw the email.
I CC'd him on the email so that he has it. So, yeah, they have that.
And the curbing for Westridge, that's been
I think you've talked to Tom about it, haven't
scheduled?
you?
Yep, as soon as Agri starts doing their stuff and get that slab, once we get that slab,
Last time.
yeah, pretty much, I think we wanna do it from now.
I've been contacted by, St. Croix Recreation of, putting up the park shelter too. They wanted to get it scheduled, yes. So,
All right.
And that shelter's going up before or after concrete? Before concrete? What was discussed?
At,
We'll go before that.
Before concrete? Okay.
all right, moving on,
City
Picnic.
Council authorized movement of the Public Works building last night, and again, that requires a site plan review by the planning commission. So May 2nd, it'll go to planning commission for review, and May 8th to the city council for approval. And then hopefully, at the May 9th meeting, you can find out what the status of that is and how soon it will be moved. But we have movers in place already that have contacted us about, when can they do it? They wanna try to get it scheduled, so they're anxious to get going.
Sure. So last night the location got approved?
Where you wanted it, yes.
Yep.
So now planning commission will take it and review it to make sure it meets all of our requirements, so it shouldn't be a problem, yep.
Okay. Okay.
Hasn't been approved to build yet, right?
No, we have to get drawings and everything.
Yeah.
So, the picnic shelter, do you wanna go on to the picnic shelter to start?
I thought we were.
Okay,
Yeah.
picnic shelter, so how I see this happening is the following, I mean, on the gantry chart, I think you kinda have it laid out. But I think that the planning commission will review it at the May second meeting. I'll forward that information on to your architect that you have, and we'll have him in attendance at the May 9th meeting. So you can discuss with him about the, park shelter. I think we had park board approved site for picnic shelter, city council preliminary approved, and we had May planning commission site approved. Park board will recommend advertising it for bids then in May, and city council will authorize the bidding at the second meeting in May. So it would be the May, 22nd meeting that they would authorize the bidding of that. So if, hopefully the architect can have the plans together for you, but that's how I see it happening, is your next meeting, the architect will be here to discuss with you what you want in the plan.
Okay.
So these are the estimates?
Yeah.
So one is I guess I'm confused. What's the difference here between these two?
Sewer and water.
The city engineer provided with a utility extension estimate of what he thought the cost was gonna be to construct the, sanitary sewer and water lines to the picnic shelter, or picnic, up here. We, Kyle had a suggestion that we contact a couple of, contractors and find out what the cost would actually be. So Kyle did do that.
Great idea.
Schneider was the only one that came back. Widmer didn't get back to him, but
I didn't call this one.
you didn't, oh, I thought you were
No,
gonna,
I just
okay.
got the one, just to see what it came in, but to get another
Just to-
comparable quote, I'll call Whitman
Before we do it,
before we do it, yeah.
right, before we get approval to do
Yeah,
it.
we'll have to.
We have to get another one,
Yeah.
yeah. So Schneider came in at $16,200. He had a couple of changes on here. He didn't put any manholes. His, what was it, was $30 a foot, and Schneider came in at 23, so there were some reductions, but also there's 12,500 in this estimate for engineering costs. So I don't know if you're gonna engineer this, or if you're just gonna do it, let the contractor just design, build it, and not, I don't know, that has to be a discussion item that you're gonna have to decide.
We didn't inspect it according to our, like if we, like a residential service, what Greg wanted to inspect it, and they just gotta be with our rules and policies of, letting it stand and.
It doesn't require anything.
Right. Yeah, it's pretty much a long, six-inch service.
Right.
Right. We have to clean out every 100 feet.
So then this Schneider estimate, we have to add
Mm.
for manholes, 10,000, or no?
That was why it was less.
Oh.
He designed it a little bit different than how the city engineer had designed it.
Oh.
But you had also mentioned last night that you're gonna put like traps in every 100 feet.
Great.
Clean out, that's
And
Clean out.
Yeah.
then he's gonna 45 it to the next manhole, farther down from the concession stand.
Right.
So then we won't have that sharp 90 where you would
We need it.
need a manhole.
Right.
So because he does this at an angle,
Uh-huh.
if we would have done it the way the engineer wanted to do it, it would have been a 45, and then a manhole would have had to been set back here. So that's why some of the difference in the cost.
What a difference. It's just amazing. Thank you,
Even-
Kyle.
Yeah, even if we did set another manhole,
You're looking minimal.
$5,000.
I was
Yeah.
gonna say
Yeah.
minimal cost.
Yeah.
Yep.
So,
Well, good idea.
Yeah, it's pretty shallow, so it wouldn't be that deep of a manhole if we did it.
Okay, so the architect will be at the next meeting.
If he can be here, yes.
So, going forward, I don't wanna lose where we're at on this, Luann, since you're gonna be gone. I guess I don't know.
I don't know what the city council is gonna do yet either with all the things that I do. I understand, I think that they're gonna hire an interim administrator. I don't know what the cost is gonna be, and I don't know what their, attendance at committee meetings is gonna be. So I think Kyle and I have talked, if city council wants our input, I think that Kyle should become the staff person for the park board. And that he could be here because he's the one that's gonna be most intimately involved with all these projects, and to keep it moving forward as best as he can assist the interim in doing that. So that was my plan with the city council once we have that discussion about who's gonna do what, so.
Yeah, and, yeah, that's kinda why I asked. I mean, if I need to have a contact name, or Kyle gets it, or whatever, we kinda talk together. You know, I don't speak it for anyone else, I mean, I know Mike knows a lot about it too, so that's why I say, you know, me, Mike, and Kyle can kinda keep it going until that person is in place, so that way we don't lose any traction on it.
Well, my understanding, and Mayor, you can speak if you want to, is that there will be an interim here before I leave. So there will be some crossover of, responsibilities, but I don't know, are you planning on having them here 5 days a week?
And that, we will know more tomorrow,
Okay.
but yeah, that would be a function, absolutely, it'd be a full-time. My, intent is to have a full-time,
So then in the transition, if, whether it's with the interim guy, or if it's with Kyle, somebody should have all the info so that it can get translated over to the new guy or whatever, so we don't lose anything.
I have started a list of
Perfect.
things that need to be followed up on in a file with everything in it, and yeah, hopefully then
Perfect.
Has a second person been hired for,
tomorrow night we're doing interviews.
okay, I'm not sure.
And we made it a special council meeting so that the city council can offer positions tomorrow night or Wednesday or Thursday if they want to. So it didn't have to wait until the April 24th meeting, which would have delayed it that much longer. So we can probably actually have someone on board by the beginning of May, possibly. So, and we have 2 really good candidates.
So going forward, if you need anything from me, just call me. Might not always be there, but at least I can answer the phone. But perfect. Any other discussion on that? All right, let's move on to discussion on concessions for movie on April 22nd.
Oh, I forgot I asked you this. No, gosh, I totally forgot about it. It was just one of those crazy ideas that I had from the last movie that we did. Some kids were like, oh, I wish you had concessions here. And I know, like, we can't as a city probably offer concessions or wanna, you know, deal with it or do it. So I just thought maybe my kids could start like a little business or something like that where they buy some candy and chips from Costco or whatever and sell it during movie time. I didn't know if anybody else cared or if anybody would object or.
Would there be anything that would prevent the city from doing that?
I don't know, I'm not sure. Okay, so we have to license the concession stand in order to sell food. So I would imagine we'd have to license the community center if you really wanted to, follow the rules.
If the city wanted to do it, right?
But then if we're allowing you to do it, I don't know what happens with all of that.
The individual would probably have to be licensed, 'cause for, like, Rails to Trails, we're the wrestling club, I'm licensed to handle food. Right.
But are you preparing food or are you selling packaged food?
We do both.
Yeah,
We
so if you
have
sell
to have-
packaged food, it's different, but I.
It is, okay.
But I still think you have to be licensed. It's a different process kind of, so.
I wasn't sure if it'd be like a lemonade stand kind of rule thing. Yeah, I have no idea. It just what came to
It's
me.
on city property for a city-sponsored event, that would be my concern.
Yeah, right.
You know,
Okay.
unless, you know, I guess, unless the
Politics.
other thing is
Yeah.
selling it outside the community center,
It's
where they
still,
come in, would that be
still
different law?
city property.
Right.
Yeah, that's true.
And then does it rise to the, level of some kind of conflict of interest because Alyssa's on the park board? Are we gonna allow any kid then that wants to come
Right.
forward and sell concessions?
Yeah, no,
So
let's
maybe we
not
should
open
just
yet.
stick with the popcorn.
Yeah, no, I don't wanna get, no. Sounds like a lot more work.
Or maybe that's something for future conversation, when we have more time to think it out, or however.
Or
we
you
go
can
along
allow-
the
The whole thing is that, like I
process.
told Alyssa the last time, no one showed up for movies, so are you gonna buy the stuff and take the
Right,
children?
right.
That's on her then too, so.
Trying to get my entrepreneurs doing something, you know, make some money.
Get them kids working.
They're 5, yeah.
Yeah. Contribute to
Nose to the
household.
grindstone. Come on, Callan,
I know.
earn your way here.
You gotta earn your food fairy money.
Anything else on that? Alright, moving
That
on,
sounds great.
grading Old Schoolhouse Park.
Do you wanna talk about this a little bit?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think everybody has a picture. Couple pictures.
Oh, yeah.
This area is back, the backside of the ball field. It's kind of a longer stretch, kind of in the black box. It kind of goes pretty close to all the way to the pad. This area, when I first started, it wasn't getting mowed or anything. I just assumed the grass.
It was meadow grass.
It was meadow grass, and I thought it was part of the townhome type things, that we weren't taking care of it, okay. And then a couple other townhomes came in here, and then the resident kinda, asked us, it's like, well, my property line's here, this is yours. So then, of course, yeah, we went and I looked it up, and it is ours to be taken care of. And ever since then, we've been mowing it. Well, it was never final graded. And the pond area, you can kinda see where it's eroding away and stuff in the, behind these new set of townhomes here. It's supposed to be kinda pushed in about another 8 feet, kinda off a little bit, and it's kinda, the one resident's a little concerned because he just put in all this new sod and everything, and it's kinda eroding away and everything. So, what I'm proposing is to have, I got a quote here from Schneider to do this as well, to kinda bring in a dozer and a skid loader, kinda push, smooth out this area, push it towards the pond a little bit. We checked with Dave already, Martini, about it. He said there's no issue with, as far as filling in the pond a little bit more, it won't restrict us stormwater and everything. So, just filling it in a little bit more, smoothing it out, and reseeding it, is pretty much all it's about. So, it's a really bumpy ride when you're on Pronghorn.
What's the cost of getting that done?
2,500 is what Snyder came up with for pretty much a day of, with 2 pieces of equipment. And then, there would be a cost in there for, seeding it as well. So,
And what would you say would be your estimate of how much it would cost to seed it?
to seed it, I guess it all depends on how we want to seed it.
Like hydro seed, or you think,
We
you
do,
know what?
if we do hydro seed, I would say it would probably be around $1,000. But if we do, I'm looking into a couple other, because we hydro seeded around the volleyball court and stuff, and it worked all right. Or actually, they had a brilliant seeder, and then it was actually a hydro erosion tank. It wasn't a hydro seed. So,
What are your thoughts on seeding?
Yeah,
some sort of erosion.
yeah, you need to have the erosion there.
I mean, I can go out there and throw a grass seed all day long, but when
Right.
it rains,
I mean, I
You're gonna
already
have
see
to-
that there's a washout in the center here.
You're gonna have to
So,
spray.
what elevations are we, I mean, was this originally, 'cause like I say, I know it used to be meadow grass, was it originally purposed? Do we have any idea whether it was originally purposed to be like a wetland drainage area?
It was part of the park. And so if I remember right, the developer had piled a bunch of dirt there, and
Okay.
the city got the dirt for Westridge Park, and when we had Sean haul it out, then it never got final graded.
Never
We
got final
had-
graded.
And the, developer never final graded. it.
Okay, I was just curious, 'cause like over here in Westridge, we have the drainage field
Right.
that runs down the middle, and I was just curious if this was supposed to be that type of system in there, if the drainage was something that was supposed to run through the grass, percolate through, or if it's something that,
it's not really
According to Martini, we went out there with Dave and he looked at it, and he just thought it could be re-sloped a little bit, just to allow some drainage, but it's not a planned drainage.
okay, it wasn't a plain drainage
It's kind
field.
of, if you go out there and look at it, you can really tell, it's a hill, it's just a bump. It's
Okay.
bumpy and
Okay.
tire tracks, same thing all over it, so it's one of those things that never got done.
Sounds like something we have to do.
If
Right.
you want,
I mean, it's not a necessity, right?
I haven't, Lauren invited the city council, probably at a work session or something.
well, if you make a motion to have this done, we'll move it forward to next city council meeting.
Yeah, we can.
What purpose would it serve to have this done?
Easier on equipment, cleaner
Easier
look.
to mow and look nicer, and then it would help with our erosion problem.
It's gonna keep getting bigger and bigger, and then it's gonna end up having to cost more money to fix them.
Right.
And the homeowner.
Yeah, mainly for the residents concerned about it, so I mean,
So spending approximately $3,500 to make the park look nicer, have better drainage, and to make the homeowner happy?
Yep, so we're a decent neighbor.
I would say let's recommend it to the city council then.
I'll make a
Agree.
motion to do that.
Motion's been made, second.
I'll second it.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passed.
What fund would that come out of? Park board?
Probably,
Capital outlay?
probably.
Well, I was gonna ask about the nursing, I'm not sure.
For parks, or for,
Yeah, for parks. Last year,
we'd have to look.
All right, moving on, adding park in Hidden Creek West.
Oh.
So we just wanna talk about when the development gets put in, could we wanna add a park in there?
That we would like to, I guess, I don't know.
But they will be required to.
Yeah.
They will be required to under state statute and according to our ordinance.
Okay.
Because that area hasn't given any park dedication to the city. So when that happens, as part of the process, I think in the past, the planner comes to the park board about what do you want and where do you wanna park? And then he then would take it to the planning commission and the developer, or we'd start, before the developer even starts to lay out the lots. They know they gotta give some parkland. So they would include in the plat, and the plat would come to you for you to approve or disapprove of, this is a good place for a park, or this isn't where we want the park, and you would have input on that as a park board.
So it's more than likely gonna happen, we just gotta sit and wait until.
It will happen, it will happen, yes, once it's developed, it will happen.
I just had a neighbor come to me and talk to me about it, 'cause they said they looked at the plans or whatever, and it didn't seem to be on the plans for that area, so.
Not for the seventh edition.
No.
For the one that's being done now.
Hidden Creek
Yeah.
right, no, all of this already had park dedication for it.
Yeah.
Hidden Creek West is this big piece, like you said,
Right.
that Pepsi owns.
Yeah.
And so that will require new park dedication to the city.
Awesome, that's exactly what I need to tell that neighbor then.
Yeah, because what they're building right now is the sixth edition, which is right here. And what they're gonna be, you know, that eventual road where all the machinery is sitting, that's gonna be the seventh edition. And there is no park in that,
Right, yeah.
so it's all the tough piece.
Yeah.
Stuff that has to have a park, so, yeah.
Or even the piece right next to it was, right, that's directly west of where
Right.
the seventh is from, I don't even know who owns that.
Yeah, this part right down here.
Yep,
Okay.
so that could have park dedication on it too, once it's brought into the city.
That'll be it.
All right, moving on, adopt section of Dakota Rail Trail.
And thank you for bringing this up, Luann, because I was gonna ask about this too.
Well, I didn't bring it up, I can't take credit for it. I received a phone call today from Carver County Parks. They happen to have, I believe it's 4 sections of trail that's open, and at one time, the city expressed an interest when the Dakota Regional Trail came in of adopting a section of the trail. We really wanted the part right at the trailhead, but Tom Stifter beat us to it, so.
And Waconia Park and
Correct,
Rec.
yeah.
Waconia Park and Rec should not have their spot at
No.
25.
So, with that said, it's A, B, C, and D on here, which is around New Germany, are the areas that are open. And so I received this, like I said, the, call from, I'm looking at her name real quick, Jessica. And so I had her send me an email asking for the park board tonight. Like I mentioned, it seems like you all expressed interest in adopting a section of the trail back in 2013. And there are a couple of sections open between New Germany and Mayer. The sections are typically 1 mile in length, and the adoption expectations are that the section is cleaned 3 times per year with a minimum commitment of 2 years. After trail cleanup, we ask that you complete a report form. I've attached a map that shows the current available trail sections. Trail steward groups are recognized with signage like this. And they have a few other groups that are interested in adopting a section, but since you've been on the wait list, you get first choice if you're still interested. So I need to know if you guys want to adopt part of this trail, if A, B, C, or D, and if you do, I will ask for a motion and a second as a park board. I don't know that this has to go to city council, I suppose it would, I don't know, that has to go to them for approval, probably does.
What kind of fees are involved?
None,
None? Okay.
no.
Just filling out your
You're
report.
filling out the report, doing it 3 times a year, and then the application. So it could be something, I suppose, on the consent agenda, on the city council agenda. But I would like to get it back so that we get our spot that you want.
I was gonna say, how long can they wait?
I don't know. Do you think it needs to come to council?
I don't know, who would do the cleanup? Would
The
it be
park
you?
board.
The park board,
So you
yeah.
five would do it?
Yeah.
Like I said, it could just be on the consent
If you get
agenda.
approval here, you should be let back to park board to approve this section, we
Right.
assume council, and
Right.
at least reserve that.
Can we delegate it to the Boy Scouts? I mean,
Well,
so-
then the Boy Scouts can
do
adopt.
their own.
Oh,
Boy
okay.
Scouts can adopt their own.
Okay.
But you're already doing our parks. We don't wanna lose you in the park.
They need all kinds of service hours, so it's,
Well, we got more
That's good.
parks they can adopt.
I got a sliding.
There you go.
I don't know if I would trust them on that.
You got,
Well,
what'd you say?
A sled.
Slatting
Or some-
in the.
No, that's
Yeah.
On a hot Friday.
Yeah.
The building, you could let them paint.
Well, I
So-
would, go ahead.
The section D,
Bees and dogs,
that's closest to us,
that's what I was thinking too.
is that where the bridge is?
No.
No.
E is the bridge.
E is the bridge.
You can see it on there a little bit.
Yeah.
Can you?
Oh, yeah, there it is, yep,
No.
use the bridge,
Not.
to be right next to it.
Okay, would be the next section down.
And I was thinking D as well, because it's closer to Mayor, so
Right.
people are coming.
Yeah, I don't really wanna be like Waconia and have a section in New Germany.
Can we tell them that we would like can we do D and then tell them we'd like a closer spot if that ever comes available, or no?
Can.
Like the one Waconia has, you know?
G.
We're gonna be a little sour.
Waconia's got
Waconia
G.
right now.
Yeah.
Waconia's got G. Every time I cross that and I see adopted by Waconia Parks and Recreation, I'm like,
How did that happen?
Who's got F, I wonder?
I don't. Skipter has one close, the Lutheran High does too.
yeah.
Lutheran Highwood, I can see where
I
they have
think it's
E.
H. I think they're H.
Oh, they're on the other side. I
don't
just
know
figured they
about
have that
that.
property over by E. I thought maybe that's.
Yeah, they're like on that EF border.
Yeah, they could be. So I just need to know if you wanna adopt a trail.
I think it's a great idea.
I love
Me
it.
too.
I mean, I think it shows the community that we're, trying to be involved in not only just the parks, but the trails also.
And ask if we can be put on a waiting list, or ask if maybe they can ask Waconia if they'd be willing to move closer to Waconia, you know?
Yeah,
I don't know.
take your business to yourself.
Maybe they want the advertising, I don't know, down there. We'll see.
Okay, I'll need a motion to approve adopting section D of the Dakota.
I'll make a motion to adopt, section D of the, Dakota Railway.
I'll second that.
Alright, motion and second's been made, all in favor say aye.
Aye?
All opposed?
Right, now, I do have a question, it's kinda on the subject, but not really. When you're in this CD area, you see a little sign that says that there's a Carver monument there. I looked and looked and looked and looked, and I don't see a monument. But there's like this little sign that says, "Do not disturb Carver monument."
I'll find out.
Interesting.
It's on the north side, or south side of the trail, like in this, I wanna say, yeah, it's like D or E.
It's past the bridge, is what you're saying. If
And I
you're
can't remember if it's past the bridge or not, but it's in this DE area, it's on the south side, and there's a little sign that says Carver Monument, do not disturb. And I stopped and I looked, and I am not seeing a monument.
Did you come back from the T Road?
No! I was just out for my run, and I'm like, where's this monument? I mean, there's like this broken piece of, limestone down there, I'm like, well, that's not a monument, that just looks like a broken piece of whatever from when the railroad company built it.
couple of them ball nights?
We might have.
Yeah.
One of our bicyclists might have taken it out.
So I'm just wondering, what is that Carver Monument, Carver County Monument?
Right, good question.
Alright, next meeting date, May 9th, 2017. Commissioners' reports?
Are you gonna be here for that?
No, I'm done at 4:30, remember?
Well, I
Well,
was
let's
think,
say-
I was
what's your
just
last
thinking
day?
since your last day, that you would like stay throughout the entire park board meeting or something.
I think I found if I find the immunity idol, I'll stay, but otherwise I'm voted off the island at 4:30.
Can we have our next
Well, if you
meeting,
read that
like, at a
contract.
place we're happy?
Because it takes effect
Mhm.
immediately on May 10th, so therefore May 9th. You're still here for the
We'll
park
see,
board
we'll see
meeting.
how the severance agreement goes.
Oh, boy.
Commissioners' reports? Staff report? Alright,
We covered most of it,
well, Luann, I wanna thank you for all your help.
You're welcome.
yes.
You've
Thank
been,
you very much.
you've been great.
You know, the hardest part of this is all these wonderful people that I've met, that I'm probably never gonna see again. As far as the city, I'm ready to move, but it's like, you know, I probably won't see a lot of these people ever again in my life, and it's kinda sad when I think of it. So, thank you for letting me be a part of this, and good luck, you know.
And good luck to you too, thank you.
I know you're always welcome.
Come and sit in on our park board meeting every once in a while.
Come and join us for the festival.
You'll send me a package. I said I'm going 75 miles south, so I'm not coming back. So,
Yeah.
thank you.
Alright. We'll need a motion to adjourn.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
All in favor of adjourning, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? We are adjourned.